Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello everyone and welcome to Gardening with Ben. It's a brand new week. Last week we managed to get 7 episodes out. Can we do it again this week? We will have to see. But keep tuning in, keep listening, keep subscribing, and I'll keep pumping these episodes out because I do love recording them. It's just finding new topics to talk about. So hopefully I can just keep talking and keep sharing what I'm getting up to. It's a bit like a blog type thing as well, so it's good for you to be able to hear what I'm getting up to. So as I'm recording this was Sunday, but it's coming out on Monday, so I'm going to be telling you about what I have got up to at the allotment this weekend, and what else I've been up to, because I have been out and about. I certainly have. So, this weekend on the allotment, I didn't manage to get up in time on Saturday. I had a lie-in, so I went down in the afternoon for a change. Usually I go down in the morning, but I went down in the afternoon for a change, and I managed to clear about 4 or 5 of my beds on the main plot, which is a good thing, because you could always think, oh, I'll start clearing in spring, ready for planting out in mid-springtime. But if you get them all cleared now, it makes sense because the light is becoming less. It's darker and darker mornings, darker nights, so there's not as much daylight, so the weeds aren't growing as much during the winter. So the more you get them cleared now in your allotments, you won't have to worry about them until next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you can keep on top of them, just keeping them hoed and keeping them. You need to keep the soil broken down on the top rather than it just being rock hard, because you need the frost to get into it over the winter period. So if you dig it over now and then just keep hoeing it every week, it will keep it crumbly so that the frost can get into it and give it the zap that it needs, if that's a word, that is. But that's what I usually do anyway over the winter period. And I managed to do that. So today I went down on the plot, today being Sunday, I went down on the plot and it absolutely chucked it down while I was down there. And as I always say, if it's raining, you can do work in the shed. So that is what I've done. So I've started clearing the mammoth task of getting all the bindweed down in the plot, and I'm starting to clear it up. There's still a lot of work left to do. I've probably only done a third of it, and it all needs, once I've got all the bindweed out as much as I can, I need to take all the floor up and get all the roots out what are going underneath all the carpet pieces and get all that tidied. And once I've done that, that's when I can concentrate on building all the new shelves, giving it a lick of paint if it needs it, which I think it does, to spruce it all up. And I need to sort out some of the roof because I've got polythene on it and the water builds up in there, so I have to keep pushing it off all the time when it rains, just in case the roof snaps, which I don't want it to do. So I have to keep pushing the water out. So that is what I've been up to on the plot today. And also I have been picking my apples. I finally picked them. Every week when I do my live video on Facebook down there, I test an apple on live stream to see if it's ready for picking, and you know when the apples are ready because they'll just come off in your hand. You shouldn't have to pull them off, they should just come off in your hand. It perfectly did come off on camera. So I have picked a bag full of apples today, and I've still got absolutely loads left on there to pick and harvest, which I can't wait to get done. So yeah, absolutely loads to do with picking my apples. And then this afternoon I went to a place called Pollen Market, which is in Sheffield. I did talk about it a bit yesterday. Last month's was the first event that they ever did. It was meant to be like a market with all different plants, produce, artwork and food, and it was fantastic last month, and there were a lot of stalls there. But wow, this month has been absolutely fantastic. It were packed. The weather stayed fine. It chucked it down this morning, so I was worried about the stall holders this morning, but it brightened up from today, and I absolutely loved it. And obviously, I came back with some plants. I went round the stalls, and one of the stall holders said, "We know you, we follow you on Facebook, on Instagram," and their stall's called Giddy Kippers Plants, and they had got all different sorts of herbs, outdoor plants, and yeah, a great variety of plants which are all locally grown. And I had a look at the plants, and they got a big selection of herbs. Now, I only grow lemon balm and thyme on my allotment, and I use a lot of lemon balm in my drinks. I make hot water and I put some lemon balm leaves in, and it's meant to be really good for you and help you sleep, so I drink a lot of that. So I thought, I need to get some more herbs down on the plot. I've been looking at making a bigger herb garden, and this really encouraged me to buy some, really, seeing these great herbs. And knowing me, I love growing stuff what's unusual, and these were different varieties of mint, and I'd never heard of these varieties of mint. There was a chocolate mint, a lime mint, an orange mint, and a lemon mint. Now, I've never heard of them before, so how new they are, or if they've been around for years, I've no idea. But I smelled each one, and they did smell divine, and they smelt like they should do. So I tend to like to grow stuff for the smell as well. Obviously, the lemon balm, every time I walk past, I rub my fingers on it and smell it, and it smells gorgeous. So I can't wait to get these in my allotment. So tune in soon for when they'll be going in my plot. But the thing you've got to remember when growing mint is you're best off growing it in containers, because it will spread for miles. So keep it under control by planting it in containers, and then you can plant the containers in the ground if it needs be, or you can just stand them in the containers. So that is a tip for growing mint. And then I also purchased a mushroom herb, and I've read up online about it, and you can have it in sandwiches, you can have it on your meals, and it does taste of mushrooms apparently. So I'm looking forward to growing that one, and it's only just come out last year, so I'm looking forward to trying that one and sharing with you how I get on with it. And then I had seen an advertisement for a new candle what had been introduced for the pollen market, which was run on a stall called Sprig. Now, I got chatting to this chap, really nice chap behind the stall, and he was telling me all about this new pollen candle, and it's got the smells of lavender, let me just check, petrigrain and cade, and it's meant to be based on the Greater Green scheme which Sheffield has introduced. And the Greater Green scheme goes from the old fire museum near Shalesmore, and it goes all the way down to Ladies Bridge. And I walked along it today, and it's absolutely beautiful, the Greater Green scheme, what they've done. All wildflowers all the way down there, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, one thing what did make me laugh is that they said one of the smells is taken from tarmac, the smell of tarmac. Now, that is one of my favourite smells, so I'm looking forward to smelling this once it's lit. But I'm just smelling it now while I'm talking to you, and it absolutely smells beautiful. So yeah, if you're in Sheffield, go and support them. They're called Sprig, and they are at the Pollen Market, and they're at Peddlers Markets as well. So go and check them out. And also what they do is £2 from each of these goes to Sheffield fruit trees, and they go around planting fruit trees in Sheffield and around Sheffield. So that's another reason why I purchased it, really, because I do love seeing what others do and supporting charities out there. and if I know where the money's going towards, I'll often support a charity that's beneficial to the area and to the local area as well, because I can see where the money's going to, and I can see online what it's doing as well. So I can't wait for my £2 to go towards planting a fruit tree somewhere, and I can't wait to smell this candle. So yeah, it's been a fantastic weekend, and I can't wait for the next pollen market. I'm glad it's not on every week, or I'd be broken. I'd have nothing left. But yeah, it's been a fantastic weekend, and I can't wait for the next one. So next weekend is my birthday, so we might be going out having a few drinks, so I might not be at the allotment too much, so we'll have to see if we do get down to the plot. But I'm hoping to get down to the plot. I've got lots to do, so I've got to keep cracking and keep getting down there and doing as much as possible. So that has been your weekend roundup, so I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.